Today we're going to edit PT GUI spherical 360-degree pictures. I'm going to do 7 of them real quick. Just keep your eye out. I'm not going to mess around. I'm just going to show you how I do it, and then you can look at it later. First thing you do is load the images. We're going to do something in this drive here. Fort Worth billiards. Oh no, they're raw. I'm not sure if I can open up raws in this program. Let's just double check that. I have them lined up. 1, 2, 3, 4. So we need to make one more. Okay. There's 3. This is HDR. So you have 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. 12 pictures all together to make one spherical 360. First thing you need to do is crop. What we need to do is make sure that this circle is inside the parameters. This is a special lens. It's a wide angle lens. So, excuse me, that's inside there. Once you do it once, all the other ones will be cropped that way. So then once you do that, you just click Align Images. Enable HDR mode from bracket exposures and exposure fusion. It's not true HDR. True HDR is 32-bit. This will be normal. Align the images. Here's where you can see how it looks. To me, it's a little dark. We do have a dark ceiling. We can probably pull that out. Color balance looks good. Everything looks pretty good on that. I might make it slightly lighter. And what I do is you just go right down these things here, right down the left-hand side. I don't usually hit most of these. I'll just hit the exposure. I optimize it first. Now it was a little bit dark, so I can make it a little bit lighter. Maybe let's go half a stop lighter. Okay, then we go to create the panorama. I'm going to do 5,000 by 10,000. The aspect ratio is always 2 to 1 on these. Program we use won't go larger than 50 megapixels, so make sure that you have that set to 50. We're going to output it in the same folder. Create panorama. It's stitching. What I normally do too is I'll go into bridge just to see that it stitched and went into the right folder. So something happened because I lined these up. Where did it go? Where did it go? It's the last one. That's probably it right here. Okay. That is it. No preview available. So let's go ahead and do this. I've got 7 to do. I'm going to do them real quick. So go to Project Assistant. We're going to make a new one, new project. Load images. See, there's that first one. So the next one will start here. So we'll go. And that. So you have 12 images. Open. Set the crop. Always on the lighter one. Bring it down. This is pretty close. It's hard to tell the top because it's a dark ceiling. That looks good. Go back to Project Assistant. Create panorama. Oops. Is that the first one I did already? You can delete those. I don't save these. Okay, let's go back to this one. Go back to Project Assistant and align images. All the settings stay the same, so you can just click, 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 click once you set it first. There it is. Now you can actually move this around and center it. Let's just say like in the middle you have a color cast or something. See how I move this back and forth? Let's say we want the pool table in the middle. Once you adjust it, put it in the middle, and I'll explain why we do this later. You have to make sure you level it up again with this button there. See that button? That'll level it back up. Okay, I might make this a little bit lighter too. So we're going to go back down to exposure. I usually optimize it, and then let's just do almost half a stop. That's it. Go to create panorama. Change this to 5,000. The reason I changed this is because when you make Photoshop actions, all of them have to be the same. So, create panorama. Okay, we'll get rid of this project before we start the next one, so it doesn't get confusing. Usually I just whip through it and I never go backwards, but that's it. It's been saved. If we went into Bridge now, you can see that it was saved. So there's two. There's 1, 2. I'm going backwards actually. So the next one would be this one. So we'll go back to the program. PT GUI. Where is she? Looks like the mail program. Where did it go? Don't tell me it crashed. There it is. Project Assistant. We don't need this project anymore. Don't save. PT GUI. New project. Load images. I usually go up to down. You just have to make sure you get the right 12 images. And the reason is because these are new. You can arrange how they're being sent. I usually go by name. And that way this will be right next to these. This is next to these ones. So let's just start at the top, the way I normally do it. Open those up. We're going to go to crop. See how that circle is outside of the parameter of the lens?
Alert from calendar. Golden hour.
It's going to be sunrise. I got an app that tells me when the sunrise is happening, so I know what time to schedule twilight shoots. Okay, so the circle is there in the middle. So we go to Project Assistant and align the images. Settings stay the same. That looks good. Let's put this building right in the middle. It looks better when you're looking at the panorama by itself if you do a little bit of composition right here. So we are going to make sure you hit this, level it back up so it's perfectly level. And then we're going to, I would brighten that up just a little bit, not too much, maybe 0.3 of a stop. That's good. Create the panorama, 5,000 by 10,000. Create panorama. We'll get all these done in the next couple minutes. This program is pretty good about stitching the spherical 360s. It's pretty fast and pretty painless. Normally I shoot JPEG. I change all my cameras to RAW now since I got that Dot Photon app. Okay, that looks good. You know we have it. Let's just double check it. Should be on the top. There it is. So that's these. The next one's going to be these. And then that one. So you always got to count out 12. Since that's there, now you got to count out. So let's cancel this one. Don't save and go to new project. Load the images. So we're going to start right here. Plus that one, because that's there. Open those up. Go to the light one. Go to crop. Make sure the circle's inside the circle. If we move that down just a little bit, it should work. Maybe a little bit smaller. Don't worry about my little tripod there. I'm going to edit that out later. Okay. That's it. Project Assistant. Align images. That was a fast one. And like I said before, we can center that front door up. I like to make it look pretty symmetrical. Just looks better when it's solo. That's it. Looks good. It's a little bit dark. Not too bad. I would just do that and just optimize it and then correct it in Lightroom. Make that 5,000. So all the panoramas are the exact same size. Excuse me. Stitch the panoramas. And you can look at the settings. All the settings are right here. All I gotta do is pause the video and look at it. Here we go, rock and roll. Let's go on the bridge and see, there it goes. Let's do this next one. I usually go from top to bottom and it's just like a staircase. If you have them lined up in 12s, you know where you are at all times. So let's cancel this one. Don't save and go to new project. Load it up, see? So we have the stairway, we're going to this one next. And we have to add these two. Okay, first thing we do is go to crop. Go to the lightest one. Down just a little bit. That looks pretty good. From what I can tell, it's hard to tell with that dark ceiling. Okay, we got the crop. Go back to Project Assistant and align the images. Settings are all the same. Here we go, rock and roll. Let's put the door in the middle. Let's put the red table on one side and the green table on the other side. Make sure you level it back up. There we go. Another reason why I would do this, sometimes you'll have different color casts, daylight and tungsten mix. If you put it in the middle, what you want to edit in Photoshop, it doesn't affect the edges. You don't want to edit in Lightroom or Photoshop the edges, because these two edges have to come together. So if this one, you make it darker, when these two line up, you're going to have a line down the middle of it. You'll have a darker and lighter. So you want to do all your editing in the middle. And if you see what you're doing here, you can see we want to edit, like I'm going to put a little dot in this in Lightroom and add a little yellow to it just to get rid of that blue. But it's not that bad, to be honest. I've seen a lot worse. Make sure it's lined up. And we're going to go optimize it. It'll look pretty good. Maybe a little bit lighter, not much. Create the panorama. Make sure it's 5,000 by 10,000 pixels. And create the panorama. We're almost done with 7 panoramas. This program's pretty quick too, that's what I like. Once you get on a roll, it's flip, 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 flip. And you're done. Okay, go in the bridge, check it out. 1, 2, 3, looks good. Let's do another one. PT GUI. We don't want that one. Don't save it. And we're going to go to new project. Load up the images. 1, 2, 3. So this is the next one. We're going to have these 3. 1, 2, 3. Open. Okay. We're going to crop the light one. Number 3 usually. Bring that down. Ooh, this looks like a tough one right here. I don't know where the heck that line starts and finishes. We got a lot of lens flare there. We're just going to go for it. Let's see what it looks like. Okay, go back to Align Images. And that looks pretty good. We're going to go for it. That looks like a I'm going to move it over just a little bit, get the corner of that machine there. Level it up. Always make sure you level that baby back up. That's it. It's not too dark. It's maybe a tad dark. So I'm just going to hit the optimize the exposure. Go to create panorama. Make sure it's at 5,000 by 10,000. And create panorama. Here we go, rock and roll. Let's see if it's ready. As soon as it goes, whoop, there it goes. There it is. Is that it? That's it. So I got that one done. So now we're going to do this one. This is the last one because we did a couple backwards from before. So we got one to that one. Okay, so let's open up that image. We done here. Don't save. New project. Load images. You see how that steps down? 1, 2, 3, 4. We've done 4. Here's 5. It should go all the way to the end of that first one because I went backwards at first. I don't know why I did that, but I did. So we're going to crop it. Go to the lightest one. It's hard to see the top because of the dark ceiling. I know it's just a little bit smaller. There we go. Go back to Project Assistant and align images. And you'll be able to see when you align. Well, it'll be hard because it's a dark ceiling. Usually you can tell if there's any spill on that when you get to this point here. So we put that round table in the middle with all that blue. You see that? So just drag it over. That looks kind of cool. Make sure you level it up. Does that look stitched good there? I think so. You also want to check for stitching errors here. So level it up. And exposure maybe half, not even a third of a stop maybe. Create the panorama, make sure it's at 5,000. And create panorama. Here we go, rock and roll. Let's see if it's stitched okay or in bridge. So we should have a step way all the way down. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We did 7. I charge the guy for 5. I usually don't count the ones outside when I connect it to Street View, those first 2. So we got 5. That's it. We just did 7 panoramas that fast.